Hi guys, I'm gonna read something for you guys. Okay. And this is basically I love for people to learn around me. I love for people to be motivated and want to grow. People are responsible for their own life and people also are responsible for their actions that they take. But if I can motivate you, guide you, can't do it for you because nobody could do anything for us. We could always either learn, watch, evaluate. Meaning we learn what we see, we watch what someone's doing to learn it, evaluate it by taking our hands, our feet, and putting in the work and doing it. So, life is like a chessboard, and we are all human chess pieces. What determines where you are on the chessboard of life is your ability to strategize, deceive, plot, plan, and maneuver. Over and over again, we hear the axisms. I play chess, not checkers. And this is chess, man. Let your next move be your best move. But what do these sayings really mean? In this book, I will break the game of chess down and add a human element to it. I have written it in a way that a baby could understand, but a genius may be baffled. My purpose is to construct the street version of Robert Greene's book, The 48 Laws of Power, or Sun Tzu's The Art of War, which I do have both of those books, and those are very good books that you guys should read. However, you will find it to be just as profound, minus the intellectualism. If you have ever been to Five Points in downtown Atlanta, you may have witnessed the many people playing chess. These men are focused on their games like a laser beam. They have to be because chess is based on strategy. You must deceive and maneuver around your opponent as well as stimulate simultaneously. I'm Jamaican, so disregard, can't say certain words properly. Plot and plan your next move. Ironically, these are the attributes we use in our everyday human affairs in the hood. We have one name for this: game. Most street dudes use these tools every day as they run their con games, pimp their girls, and sell their drugs. If they only knew that some of the richest tycoons, politicians, and entertainers use the same principles to make millions without committing crimes. My aim is to show the contrast between the two worlds and merge them, creating a universal principle called human chess. This principle will empower men and women and give them the necessary tools to find strength within themselves so that they may reach the potential of their destiny. All humans were created to be powerful beings capable of achieving any goal within the resources available to man. The questions with any great thinker when pondering another success are: how did he make so much money? How did she become so powerful? And how did he turn into the most influential man of our time? I will break down and decode the strategies and maneuvers that Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, and 50 Cent use and deceit. The reasons they have been, are, and will continue to be on top. I will show you how Obama got the White House using game and by mastering the art of human chess, as described in this book. I will take you into the cold world of the streets and show you how deception is a must. Even if you are not the type of person that plots and schemes, your enemies are always plotting on you. This is why strategies and planning are essential to survive in the game. These is very little difference between a stockbroker and a petty con man on the streets. They both lie for a living. One lies for millions and the other lies for thousands. What I do in this book is give you live examples of the game and the principle and call it the art of human chess. By doing so, I can bridge that gap and let the world see we all speak the same language and the name for the language is game. So I'm going to break that down. Basically, so far in the second page, this man is saying we all could strive for greatness. We all could have it. We all could get money. It's about planning. It's about strategizing. And it's also about how hard are we going to work to get that, right? I've been in the game for 35 years and I've done it from the ghetto streets to the executive suites. I ran game on dudes in the streets and took their girls and money and sent them on missions. The funny thing about it is the largest amount of money I have ever made at one time was in the executive suites. It made no difference what field I was in, the streets or the suites. I had to be a master human chess player. In the streets, I ran game. In the corporate suites, I used the principle of human chess laid out in this book. So he's saying that he made more money actually in executive suites instead of on the streets. Most of you guys that's on the streets, you guys gang members or whatever the case may be, where you on the street and you're making money out there on the block, as you guys call it, you could take that same mindset, same knowledge, and open up a business and create business plans and create business spaces for our Black community. For those of you that are already human chess players, this book will serve as confirmation to you, and you will say to yourself, I've been doing this my whole life. Those of you who find it offensive will come on board in theory, but will convince yourself that you are a good boy or girl, and you would never deceive, trick, or outfox anyone. But that's where you don't understand the principle as being not that of a tyrant, but as someone who is hungry and wants and needs to live. We as human beings are born with deception. For example, when my two sons, Lil Kenny and Supreme, were babies, they would cry every time they were hungry, needed their diapers changed, or wanted to be picked up. I would be watching the Lakers game and Preem would look at me as if he was saying, Dad, come pick me up. Of course, I'm into the game, so I'm not going to pick a baby up. He plots in his mind, I have to get Dad's attention. And out of nowhere, he starts to cry. Game. I know I'm into the basketball game, but I pick him up to stop the crying. Little Kenny sees me picking up Preem and gets jealous and starts crying. Being a master of the game, I know that I'm being deceived by my boys. And it only came natural to them because we are human. You get the point? So even babies, a lot of people say that too. A lot of people say babies are deceiving because they can't talk, so they cry. They want food, so they cry. They want to be changed, so they cry, right? And we attend to those cry because we don't want to hear our babies crying. But we also attend to those cries because we're trying to get whatever they need. But sometimes they are deceiving us. That's a bigger picture for another day. What this book is going to do is give you an upper hand in the game and make you a master at human chess. Let me point out to you how this works by showing you some of the chess moves I exercise that help me to get where I am. And you will see that we are the same, or that perhaps you have been a victim of some of the traps, plots, or game by people like myself. So, are you going to ask yourself? So, the question of the day is, are you going to be teaching the game, or are you going to be the one getting the game run on you? I would always plan and plot my moves 10 to 20 steps ahead. In other words, I will predict the outcome of all my situations. I use deception to throw off my opponents and gain leverage. This allowed me to maneuver and set traps. My first strategy, as I pointed out in my first book, Pimpology, The 48 Laws of the Game, was to build a name for myself. I realized that most people are fanatical, and it is easier to sell a Coca-Cola than a regular cola. The reason is because of the branding and the marketing strategies that the larger corporations have used to manipulate the mind into thinking that these products are better. So I had to build my brand to the point that I was able to attract A-list entertainers. This should not be surprising because the larger brands like Nike, Coca-Cola, Chrysler do it all the time. The difference between them and me is they have the bankroll and I have game. So marketing, right? Promoting, those are how you promote your business. You promote yourself, you market yourself. I feel like if you don't have a business, you should not be spending no money on promos, because then you are making people buy to like you and not actually follow you and engage with you because of who you are. Right? Right. Once I devised a strategy on how to get people that would normally receive millions from these corporations to do the same thing that they do for me for free, I knew it was a wrap. It was a clever tactical maneuver because all I did was went to the artists, friends in the hood, and sold all them DVDs. Now their friends are my fans, which made it a must for the entertainer to know me. There were only one way to prove that these entertainers knew me, and that was to put me on their platinum albums that were about to be released. If you Google my name right now, you will see that there have been over 15 million albums sold featuring me, and I didn't even pay a dime. I played human chess and plotted my way into the entertainment world. It would have cost me millions in advertisement if I would have paid for it. In essence, you have to be able to identify game when you see it. Once you understand it, you will be able to better control your situations and make money in more ways than you could imagine. This secret is not to be played with once you learn how to plot, plan, strategize, maneuver, and exercise extreme patience. Hey, so y'all drop that in the comments. He just dropped a gem. He said, once you learn how to plot, plan, strategize, maneuver, and exercise extreme patience, you have to stay on your game. Excellent chess players always attract competition because your moves are so clever that people feel they need to bring you down. They are called haters, and they are your opponents. Your only defense against them is to read and reread this book until you master this principle called human chess, which in the streets we call game. This book will serve as your study guide, and I suggest you take notes. I have included a note page in the back of each chapter. Good luck, and remember, the whole world plays human chess, and your job is to not get checkmate. 12 values on 12 values one must master to become a master human chess. This is chess player. This is something y'all probably need to write down. A positive attitude. This is every day. You have to get up and have a positive attitude. You have to get up and want it. You want to have to learn. You have to get up starting your day happy, no matter what you're going through. Because prayer is going to take you through no matter what. I know sometimes people have this thing where they feel like God is not listening. They have this thing where they feel like God is not there. But keep going, keep striving, keep that faith. Because the more you worry, the more you moving away from God. So have that positive attitude. Positively look at the world as something good and a place where you can win. You have to have a desire to win. A desire to win is a cornerstone to all achievements. If you have no fire in you, it is hard to see yourself as successful. Persistence. This could be a book within itself called The Art of Never Giving Up. Pursue your dreams until you have nothing left in you. Imagination. You must have the ability to see things in your mind and to wonder about things that have not yet come to pass. Self-confidence. I am so big on this self-confidence. You have to have self-confidence. Tell yourself that you love you. Tell yourself that you are the best. Tell yourself that you are going to achieve everything that you put your mind to. Tell yourself that you can. Be confident. Hold yourself to a high level. Conquer fear. President Kennedy once said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. You can never play the game of human chess and fear your opponent. Patience. Knowing when to make the right move, taking your time to do so is key to crushing your opponent. Patience. Plot. Thinking and setting up all of your moves. Outthinking your opponent is a must. Strategize. Have a strategy if you want to win in any game. And that's in life. If you want to win in life, you have to strategize. You have to be patient. And you have to conquer fear. Manipulate. Don't think of this as a negative. Often we hear businessmen and government officials say we have to manipulate the situation. This simply means make it work for them. Deception. If people know your game plan, they will destroy you. Deception throws them off and leads them astray. Never let the next hand know what move you're going to make if you want to win in this game. You have to be able to accept others' differences and experiences to be a master human chess player. Right? Right. I'm telling you, these are everyday lives. These are everyday things that we should be doing in our life anyways. The concept of human chess came to me by way of an OG I met while I was serving a bid in Oxford Federal Penitentiary. I was young and thirsty for the game. I had read The Prince, Think and Grow Rich, The Art of War. The only thing I was not up on was chess as a board game. I was always hearing veteran players say life is like chess, and I play chess while these suckers play checkers. I heard it a lot of references to the game, but never knew how profound the game of chess really was. One day, I was in the prison yard and I walked up to those two OGs playing chess. One of them was an ex-pimp turned bank robber. I said, I see two masterminds at work. I said it like that to make them feel some type of way like bosses. And the one I wanted to pull my coat looked up and said, boy, what you know about this shit right here? I replied, nothing. Nothing. Youngin', you slipping. All boss players play chess. It's like life. And the more you play, the sharper you get, the sharper your game will be. Now, he really had my attention because there was nothing I wanted more than to be a boss player. I scrambled my brain for a slick way to hit on him for that chess game. I asked, are you the truth or are you just going through the motions? Nigga, you haven't heard? I'm the best in this whole motherfucking joint. I've been in here for 15 years and I run circles around these lanes. When it comes to this shit right here, he replied, pointing at the chessboard. I asked him, if that's true, then you could teach a young pimp the game, right? He looked up and said, man, you smooth and I like your game. So yeah, let me checkmate this dude and it's on. He checkmate him and I sat down and the long session begun. The OG said, first, let me say, I'm going to put this shit in terms you can understand. Chess applies to everything, and we all live the game of chess. Before I robbed banks, I was a small-time local pimp, and I played the game the same as I played chess. The queen is the most powerful piece on the board, just as a bottom bitch is the most important hoe in a pimp stable. I stopped him and asked, how does that apply to pimping? Well, the main purpose of your bottom hoe is to protect the pimp at all times. You make sure that the other hoes are in pocket. She sets the blueprint for his household. In chess, the queen move sets the blueprint for his household. Right? The board, the other pieces, can operate better. She sets the stage for how you're going to play the game and takes the opponent pieces to clear the way for a checkmate down the road. She is your bitch and you depend on her as much as a pimp. Depends on his bottom bitch. The pawns are like the hoes that are there to make your stable look good. If they prove themselves, they can guarantee the big bitch a queen. It's the same in the pimp game. You got those bitches that are just down with you and can be taken by another pimp at any time, just like pawns. In chess, we players sacrifice pawns all the time, sometimes to trap our opponents. That's why our opponent usually try to swipe out those pawns first. It's the same in the pimp game. A pimp goes at your weak hoes first, and if he can get them and make you look weak to your bottom bitch, then he goes after her. The knight is like a dirty pimp that snakes a pimp for his hoe. He moves sneakily and can trap you when you least expect it. You got to watch the knight like you watch a nigga in the streets. You have dirty pimps that will knock on your hotel room door, then turn around and try to knock your hoe. They move in all types of ways. You got to watch them. Most good chess players know you got to keep your eye on the knight. The bishop is low down and loves to lie in the corner and catch you slipping on your rook. Who most of the time protects your king? Same in the game, youngin'. You got those pimps out there that never come around other pimps, but they're always laying to knock a pimp for his bitch. He is usually the one that gives a pimp that phone call saying, I got the bitch. Now the rook is like a pimp kicking it buddy. It's usually the last piece that gets taken off the board before the checkmate or the pieces that checkmate the other side. I jumped in and asked, but how does this apply to us as humans? Young man, what you got to understand is that we humans play chess every day. For example, the hoe deep down doesn't have any respect for herself or the pimp, but she uses the pimp as a scapegoat to make it look like she's being controlled by a force bigger than herself. The funny thing is most pimps think that it's their pimp game that's holding the hoe. Women develop 5 to 10 years faster than men, and women think way more than men. Men are impulsive, and women are analytical. Therefore, they plot every day and in everything. Only a master of human chess can outsmart an intelligent woman. I interrupt. Okay, what are you saying? Is a hoe smarter than a pimp? No. But she is going to try her best to break a pimp down. It's in her nature to break a man down, and a pimp is a man. In the Bible, the first thing you read about is the fall of man. Eve broke Adam's ass down. That story was about how to play life game of chess, and Eve checkmate the shit out of Adam. A hoe plays on tricks all day, and if a pimp is not on his game, she would try him too. That's why pimps that understand this tell a hoe to wash the trick off of her before she comes home to psychologically separate herself from the trick. He plays mind games with her so she never sees him as a trick or a buster. Good shit, OG. How does this chess shit apply to pimps? Pimps play chess with one another all the time. Why? Because it's a game of competition. I want your spot, yo ho, and better shit. So I set traps for you. I use deception and manipulation. I will lay low to take your hoe. These are all tools used in chess. A wise pimp will always keep his guard up and never trust a pimp. Play chess or checkers. Play or get played. What about if a pimp has more than one hoe? He has to master them all and make them feel like they all are the same. Even though there will always be one that he trusts more. He's going to have to make it where he's the only prize and that they are all lucky to be under his instruction. It's all chess and finesse. Okay, what about a pimp's character? This is what it's all about. Every master of the game knows that a campaign is everything. Like in chess, a pimp must be feared and respected or he will be attacked from all angles. We stopped talking and began playing. After a few games, I was able to see how the game of chess applied to everyday life. Here's the breakdown. My critics say that I am cold-hearted, manipulative, conning, and deceiving. They feel this way because they never had to deal with these sharks and lions that I deal with on a daily. These motherfuckers are constantly trying to bite my head off and tear into my flesh. Sometimes I'm as manipulative and cunning as a lion, and sometimes I'm as cold-hearted and deceiving as a shark. It all depends on where I'm fighting. If I'm in the water and I'm fighting a lion, I'm a shark. If I'm on land and I'm fighting a shark, I'm a lion. Just know that I fight to win, and in the words of Malcolm X, by any means necessary. This shit is human chess, and I'm trying to win at all costs. The OG taught me the game, and I took it and ran with it. The only difference between him and me is that I'm out here in these cold-hearted streets where you have to be on point at all times. There are many human chess players that live by certain codes that will eat you like meat and spit out your bones. They practice deceit all day, every day, and lay and play for fresh prey. So I came up with this masterpiece so you can sharpen your game. Now, and thank me later. You are human, so it is possible for you to escape the many con games and swindles that your fellow human beings used to separate you from your cash, personal belongings, and sometimes even from your freedom. I've been playing both the game of chess and human chess for years now. And by the end of this book, you will be so sharp and up on your game. So, guys, that was the first chapter. I want to just break down for you guys how important it is for you to take control of your life, take control of your destiny. Try to find your wants, your needs, and to secretly, deceivingly work on that, right? You want to be able to keep leveling up. You don't want life to hit you. Every time life hits you, it's going to knock you down 10 times worse. And if you're soft, if you can't get back up, or if you cry and complain and mumble about it, guess what happens? Life is going to keep kicking you down. So you have to learn how to keep staying up, keep going up, keep being up above that level. You know how everything has levels? You know how you have red, yellow, and green on grading level, on grading topics, like on certain things that grade. And you know, when you in the red, you're not trying. You in the yellow, you trying, but you're not there. Once you in the green and you pass that line, you need to be able to stay above that line. You know how sometimes on some of these subscriptions or memberships, they say, oh, if you don't spend over a certain amount, like Sally's Beauty is a perfect example. As long as you spend $500 at least twice out of every month, you will be able to stay in a platinum rewards program, right? You'll be able to get the $5 every month, the discounts, the gate codes, the membership, the access memberships that they have to offer you. But as soon as you're not meeting that, you drop down from spending $1,000 a month to $500 a month. You no longer in that tier. So life is also about tier. Life is also about learning about tiers and how to stay up there. Again, nobody's not telling you starting over is not an option, because starting over should always be an option. But before you start over, do you really want to start over? Are you going to, these are the questions you should ask yourself. When I start over, am I going to be able to make better and rational decisions than I did before? Because it don't make sense starting over and you go back into the same boat and go back to the same place that you just started over with. So those are things to take into consideration. Thank you so much for listening to me motivate you guys.